Okay, we're joined by UCO head football coach Nick Bobeck following the Broncos' 34-0 win over Washburn in MIAA football in Edmond. Coach, why don't you start with an opening statement about today's game?
Yeah, I think we played pretty well. It's one of the more consistent games that we've played this season. It wasn't the second quarter was a little bit of a dip. wasn't real pleased with that, but I think we played pretty well. At the really from an overall standpoint, obviously defensively we played really well. I'd like to have seen a few more turnovers created, but the one was big. Offensively, we got to put the football in the end zone. We leave some points out on the field today where that can bite you in the tail at the end of the day, and we've got to do a better job down
What impact did having Derek on the sideline do for the team?
Oh, it wasn't. He's been around. I don't know that the guys knew that he was going to be there or not, but it's always good to have that kid around. He's got an infectious smile. He's one of those guys that's really easy to be around. He's one of our team favorite guys. Everybody likes Derek, and for everybody to see Derek, and I'm proud of Derek for coming out in public, to be quite honest with you, and because that's a big life change, and for him to be able to deal with it, and I'm really proud of that kid. He's just an unbelievable young man, and his smile's infectious, his energy's infectious, and he did our football team a great deal of good today.
Clay McKenzie today about 3,000 career yards. What does that mean for him in the program?
Oh, I think Clay's the model of consistency. He's not a flashy kid. He never has been throughout his career, but he goes and he gets what's there. And he's a physical kid. He wears people down. And he's done that his entire career. He's a guy that he creates energy because of his physicality. And he's done a really good job of that throughout his career. And obviously that's a mark that is a pretty big number.
Your offensive line, I know you had two starters out with injuries. What do you? How would you assess their play today?
Up and down. I was really disappointed with him at the start of the second quarter, and then throughout that second quarter, it wasn't very good. We weren't maintaining blocks, and we're falling off of blocks. It just wasn't as physical as what I wanted it to be. And we've got a physical unit. We're just young, and we're young-minded at times, and I think they did a really good job in the second half. We did a good job in the second half, but there can't be that up and down. And the offensive football team oftentimes is going to go as the offensive line goes. And I've got to keep working with those guys. That's my unit. We've got great kids in that group. We really do. We got really good kids. I got to do a better job of coaching them and putting them in a situations to where I'm applying a little bit more pressure to them, and that they're functioning through it. And so I think we've got to run the football better than what we are right now. I think Justin Curry gave us a little bit of a boost there in the second half, and did a really nice job. And we had some guys kind of come in and come out, and I was really proud of those guys for responding to my challenge at halftime. We were able to milk a lot of clock out there in the fourth quarter.
Your special teams had a pretty big impact on stopping the return game early. What would you say was the key to that?
Well, I think we've emphasized it. Really for the last couple of weeks, we've played two really good return units, and Coach Holland did a great job with all of those units. Him and Coach Graham and Coach Knox do a great job with those guys, and putting them in great situations schematically. But then at the end of the day, it comes down to the kids going and doing what they're asked to do and going and playing fast, and that's what they did today. And Brian Burns did a great job on kickoff cover. There were some physical football plays down there that getting the ball inside the 5-yard line, tackling the ball inside the 10-yard line on kickoff cover. It's pretty stinking good. I was really proud of those guys.
Your defense pitched their first shutout since 2014, I believe. What, if anything, differently was done on that side of the ball today?
We've been playing pretty good on the defensive side of the ball. We've got a talented group there. It really kind of starts with the linebacker group, and we've we've finally gotten a little bit of consistency at the defensive line, and that's where we were kind of struggling early in the season. And and then in the back end, we're not giving up the chunk plays like we were early in the year. And I think it's 4 games in a row now that we haven't given up a touchdown pass. We've got some kids that are really playing well in that back end.
Dustin Bosk is a guy that's quietly had a pretty good season so far. I know you were high on him last year, but he was kind of overshadowed by Curry, Looper, and Crockett. What do you have to say about his season so far?
Oh, he's a talented kid, and when he's healthy and he's put in good situations, he's kind of a unique kid. He had the ACL injury as a redshirt freshman, and then he had to sit a little bit, last year when we were dealing with an academic issue that we were having to get sorted out, and then he was able to play in the Missouri Southern game last year and really created a boost for our football team. He's an explosive kid. He is really good with the ball in his hands. He's an exceptional athlete, just has a natural bend, able to get his feet in the ground, and was able to set routes, and you guys saw that a little bit today on a couple of those football plays, and tracks the ball exceptionally well as well. So, he's a really talented kid, and we've got to continue to find ways to get the ball in his hands. And when you have some other guys step up and play well, like Jiffy did today, and then that takes a little bit of pressure off of it.
Finally, you guys are on a roll here as of late. What do you have to do to continue the momentum?
I think you got to show up every day, and you got to work. It's kind of a day-to-day thing, and it's kind of cliche that you say it, but it's showing up and taking care of your business every day and not really worrying about everything from the outside. And I think we did that a little bit early in the season. We were a little bit worried about the other things that were going on rather than just handling our business and handling our 111 when it came to playing the game. So our kids are doing a better job of doing that now.
Okay, Central Oklahoma again beats Washburn 34-0 to improve to 5-3 on the season. The Broncos will head to Joplin in Week 9 to take on Missouri Southern next Saturday. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, guys.